Because I wasn't doing it to make a YouTube channel, I was doing it just to let people in. I'm 38 years old now, and for the first 34 years of my life, I thought I was better than everybody. You know, I went to a prestigious university and got a degree in engineering. And think about your engineer buddies. The VinWiki studio would not be acceptable to your engineer buddies, right? They would be in there with a toothbrush cleaning the baseboards here and repainting the walls, and well, that's me. I'm that guy. And so for the first 34 years of my life, I thought I was better than you because my garage was cleaner than yours. And by doing so, I realized that I probably closed out the vast majority of other people that maybe I could have had a shared interest with. And I would have these cool cars and I would modify them, and then eventually I started making my garage look really cool, and I did lots of research like most good engineers would, and so I started to discover things that other people would probably want to know, but no one got to know it because I did everything on my own by myself in my garage. And so in 2014, my wife and I had our second child, and I wigged out. I was a really highly compensated financial professional at a Wall Street firm. I had the cars that I could ever dream of. I had a 991.1 Carrera S with the X51 package, which is what a $16,000 option. It's a complete waste of money, but I had it. It was the perfect 911. I was living the dream. So I had the cars that I wanted, the garage I wanted, the house I wanted, the family I wanted. And I think what happened is I realized eventually that I just closed the world out and took on all that weight. And so when I say wig out, I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, and it was that led me to starting a YouTube channel. Actually, what really started is I was journaling. I started journaling my cars on Renlist and M3 Post as a therapy mechanism. As a typical engineer, when I wigged out and went a little crazy and couldn't go to work, I met with a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist put me on some happy pills and said, look, you need to meet with a psychologist. Psychologist said, you need to let people in, and then that's when I started journaling on Renlist. And it was the first time in my life I was open to suggestion. And so I went on, forums. Forums, people are brutal. You'd get slain for telling somebody to, torque your drain bolt that's 17 foot-pounds when it was supposed to be 18 and a half, and they'll crucify you for that. Well, I was always reluctant to share my garage and my cars and all this stuff that I've learned over the years because I didn't want to get roasted. When I went crazy and I had this disorder, and I eventually realized that I need to let some people in, I just gave up all that crap and said, you know what, I'm just going to tell people the story of my 911, the story of my car. And it was at that time that the 911 was having stumbling issues. There's certain 991s have a stumbling issue. So here I have this $130,000 car that's stumbling, which was part of the reason I wigged out. And it was right at that time that I got my GT3, Sapphire Blue GT3. And so I started making videos of my life and my garage, and started sharing what's going on in this goofy garage that I had. I started sharing the flooring and the lighting and making these 50-minute long videos, these insanely long videos that the first comment in every single video was, don't make it so long, cut it down, right? That was the most common comment, and I didn't hear it. I wasn't listening. I was just letting people in because I wasn't doing it to make a YouTube channel. I was doing it just to let people in. And so what happened is a couple thousand people started watching it, and then 5,000 people started watching it, and then 10,000 people started watching it, and I was sharing this life, this obsessed life on YouTube, sharing it with people that what I found is there are other crazy people too that would get a toothbrush out and start scrubbing your baseboards when you weren't looking. There's a couple of them here with me today, and so I do at times wish that I could just let go. Wish that I could just drive my GT3 around the track 50 times and not care that the brakes got a little hot. That I feel like I just ruined the car. And I know that's what it's built for, but I'm just being honest here. That's what my soul is connected to that car, and it just stresses me out. So I've become okay with, hey, that's just the way I am. I don't need to go around the track. I don't care if you're going to make fun of me for not wanting to go. And that's been the realization. And then by doing so, me accepting that has opened me up to people. The comments that bother me and what is when someone doesn't know that I know that they think I'm stupid. Right? That's when I really get angry. When somebody doesn't, like, I know that you think I know you think I'm stupid. But if you don't know that I know that, I know this is a weird death spiral of nothingness, but that's what gets me fired up. Or when somebody accuses me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Of course I know what I'm talking about, otherwise I wouldn't talk about it. People should know that, right? That's what gets me angry. Letting people into your life, not from an arrogant perspective, but from a, hey, this is me, this is what I'm into, maybe you might want to come by and maybe I could show you what's in my tool drawer, kind of thing. I think when you're a male and you're young and you're a bravado or you have whatever, all that is insecurity, but you really don't understand what's going on. So I can't even imagine what life is going to be like when I'm 60. You won't be able to run and jump anymore as fast or as well as you'd like. And the self-realization just makes life living so much easier than it was when, in the past when I didn't understand this stuff. So that realization it's completely changed my life. It's insane. Like, I would never do this. In fact, I had to fight myself to come here. Like, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to meet another person. I don't want that responsibility. But when I do it, it's amazing. Yeah. If I invite other people to do stuff, like stuff that I would want to be invited to do, that if I just make it happen, that magic happens. When I get these other obsessed dudes together that would normally be the guy in the corner thinking he's better than everybody, instead I get a bunch of better than everybody's together, and then nobody's better than anybody, and magic happens. And I'm hoping to purvey this message that I'm deeply flawed and way worse off than the vast majority of people. And when you can come to that realization, it's like I said, I can't explain it other way, that magic just happens. And so my entire mission is to push myself outside of my comfort zone and just invite. And so I invited people out to an event in Colorado, and they showed up. And I invite people to come and see this car in Atlanta that we're doing and detailing, and people show up. And then when they show up, I don't even have to do anything. They connect. And so my goal is I'm going to build a gosh darn destination in Central Florida. I'm going to build I don't know how many acres it's going to be, but it's going to be a lot of acres, and we're going to do cool stuff. And so that's my goal. But that facility is going to be dialed in. It'll be really meticulously maintained, that's for sure. And it's changed my life. It's completely changed my entire outlook on things. It's why I'm here sitting on the darn VinWiki channel. It's the craziest thing ever, because I let people in. I mean, think about, I've heard some people tell a story of Matchbox cars. Well, when I was 4 years old, I believed that Matchbox cars were superior engineering to Hot Wheels. And so I was the guy that would not let anybody touch or play with my toys. And now I spend all of my time inviting people over to come and play with my toys, and it's been this incredible journey to sharing Car Guy stories on the VinWiki channel. So that's the story of obsession. The big epiphany of obsession, and that explains it. That's why I didn't ride my bike through the mud. That's why I don't like to go to the track. It explains, and it's almost given me permission to be that way and to accept it and to use it for good rather than evil. That's been the big epiphany in this whole process of when I let others in to me, the obsession can be used for good. I thought I was using it for good the first 34 years of my life, when really, I wouldn't tell you I thought I was better than you, but I would probably wear it on my face. And what the realization is that I'm way worse than like a person who doesn't have this affliction, and that's opened up the world to me. It's been an incredible journey.
Shrewd negotiation starts with finding the right car, and the best way to do that is with Autotempest.com. Autotempest allows you to compare the results from Craigslist nationally with all the top listing sites. So visit Autotempest.com today and see where your next dream car is hiding.